limit the depth of how deep your depression can go, such as getting out of bed, getting around for the day, and getting to work can be all you accomplish that day, and that's perfectly fine. I try to live life and thrive. I don't want to live a life where I just got out of bed and go to work and that's the best I can do today. And there's nothing wrong if that's your goal, especially if it's really hard to get out of bed. I don't want to survive. I want to thrive. And talking about depression is important. There should be no shame because nobody chooses to be depressed. No one chooses to be suicidal. No one chooses to have a mental condition or an autoimmune condition. It's something where your body doesn't work right. And luckily, we know terms for diseases and disorders, so it's much more helpful to get diagnosed. And if you can, try and get diagnosed. Some people, they need medication to take the worst of the depression away. People struggle with anxiety and panic attacks. Very, very, very common. And I've learned, what disorders are more prevalent based on your gender and age. And it's very interesting. But depression was a big one for me. Second would be religious trauma syndrome, or RTS. It's basically trauma associated with high control religions. This can manifest into panic attacks, depression, fear, emotional and physical avoidance to triggers. It can also cause triggers. It's basically like surviving a cult. That's exactly the way I would describe it. RTS is something that is lifelong, at least for the people I've met with. This can morph into what I call CPTSD, or complex long-term post-traumatic stress disorder. Basically, it's a response or a coping mechanism for trauma. And complex, I call it just chronic, like lifelong. Hopefully it's not lifelong, but I kind of get the idea it's going to be. And it's just PTSD brought on by your body feeling unsafe. And it just manifests in a lot of ways like PTSD does. It's just more layered than regular PTSD. And anyone who has CPTSD, I definitely feel sorry for you. I can empathize. It's something that needs to be addressed in therapy. And I didn't realize how deep my RTS and CPTSD goes. It's like an onion. That's why they call it complex. Because you have to unlearn every toxic message church and religion taught you. You have to learn that you're not in danger. That the people you have in your life, you chose because they're family. Not because they're blood related, but because they're safe and emotionally connected to you. They care about you. And if that's just a therapist and one friend, that's okay. But RTS is a very hard one to talk about because very few people recognize and will actually respect RTS. It's something that's very hard to talk about. The church minimalizes it as church hurt, but it's really a response to church abuse in any shape or form. And I have religious OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. Due to being in a high control religion that thrived on the absence of perfection, it creates an environment where you have anxiety, stress, and panic attacks if you can't be perfect. Because religious people associate imperfection with going to hell. And anyone who has religious OCD, I definitely empathize. You have to learn that it's okay not to be perfect. It's